So then one of my mates, I was sitting there a few pints in and he's like, yeah, who's the GOAT, lads, who's the GOAT? And then I was like, Mighty Mouse, Demetrius Johnson. I was like, I don't think, I think that's a fairly safe shout, you know? And he went, he went, the way he beat Strickland. And I'm sat there, I went, what? He went, yeah, the way he beat Strickland, and he went South African as well. And I was like, do you mean Duplessis? He went, yeah, Mighty Mouse. I was like, what? I was like, you are aware Demetrius Johnson's a 5'3" black male.
So is Duplessis. He's African, man.
He's 6'1", no, he's much bigger. I was just like, and it's horrible.
Hello, it is Danny, host of the What's Happening podcast. You probably know me by now. Today's episode is brought to you by Grid. And if you're wondering, what is Grid? Grid is a sports and activewear brand that's got a massive collection ranging from shorts, to t-shirts, to tracksuits, to joggers, to hoodies, anything you need to help you stay active, stay fit and stay comfortable. Now, get on this. When you go to the Grid official website, when you get to the checkout, if you use code Happenin20, you will receive a 20% discount, courtesy of ourselves, as a little thank you to all of you watching at home. Now, I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Let's get right back into the episode.
Hello, welcome back. Episode 121 of the What's Happening podcast. As always, I was going to say this week, Gary's not here again, so we're joined by Sante again this week. We've got Shem Rock in the studio as well. He's come straight from the gym. Hasn't even had a shower either, which is fucking...
Stinking.
This is rude, if anything. But lads, fucking... We've just been... I mean, obviously, fucking firstly, how have you been? And it's been a mad few weeks.
Lad, how do you remember what number podcast you're up to just off the top of your head?
I just had to ask him then. Before
Did
you already went there every week.
I was just thinking then, yeah, that was fast.
Lad, every week before we start, I'm like, hey, what number is this?
I just make it up every week.
Yeah, I've done it a few times. I've been
689.
116, I've been like 109. I'm just guessing, lad. I've fucked it so many times. But fucking, yeah, lad, it's... We've had a mad few weeks, lad, let's just say. But like, you've just been on the MMA, is it the Sky Sports? Have they got like their own MMA podcast now?
Yeah, I've done the Sky Sports one.
Lovely, lads.
What else have I done? I don't know, lad.
You're back here
I get it in the head too much to remember.
You're back here with us now,
I'm here anyway.
It's been mad though, obviously you're still training, as always.
I don't stop, I never stop.
But you've struggled getting an opponent recently. Obviously it's been other stuff going on behind the scenes. What date's the Frankfurt card Octagon have got?
I know it's in October.
So there's still time.
Yeah.
There's still time.
Yeah, there is.
And to be fair, lad, obviously, when you look on Instagram and that, and like it's not you said it yourself. It's not just you calling to get on that card. People want to see it. Anyone who's familiar with MMA in Europe and in the UK, they're probably you're one of the biggest names.
Lad, it's mad because I don't really like to say it because it sounds like I'm blowing me own.
No, you're not though, lad.
Well, not though, lad. Look what you've done, lad.
People say to me all the time, like, lad, I didn't even hear of Octagon before you were there.
Especially considering
Lad,
you're not in...
I am one of them people.
Yeah, especially considering you're not in the UFC either, so it's not like you've got that thing of being in the
platform,
UFC.
yeah,
you've sort of done it. You've obviously worked with Octagon, but you've done it yourself. You've come out and you've just fucking... Like, it's been what? It's been over a year, and since you were last on the podcast, easy. When we were still in the old studio, we were saying before, and in that time...
I think I've had 3-4 fights since then.
All first round finishes, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It
speaks for itself, like.
It makes sense, lad. Especially, like, you're not just one of the... As I said, you're not just one of the biggest names on their promotion, like, you're one of the biggest names in European MMA.
I think right now, definitely, lad.
Easily.
And if you look at, like, anyone else who you'd put in that same bracket now, they're all in the UFC. You've all just been signed. Buchanan's just been picked up. Paul, who's just gone to PFL. Yeah. Luke Riley doing the Contenders. Nathan Fletcher doing the Ultimate Fighter. Like, we're all that same kind of similar number of fights.
Yeah. Similar experience, lad.
Yeah.
And I think as well, it doesn't just make sense. Like, obviously, if I'm trying to put myself in Octagon's shoes, it doesn't just make sense from the standpoint of what you've done so far in the cage. Speaks for itself. You're easily one of, if not the biggest name on their roster. So from a business perspective, they're putting a show on in a stadium. What is it, 60,000 seats?
Yeah, I think it's 58. But
58, 60k.
60K.
Why would you not Why would you not get your biggest name in that main
That's what I've been
event?
saying,
Main card at the least. Like.
Where's it getting held?
Frankfurt in Germany.
Is it, yeah.
I was offered the main event on Oberhausen in September against they've signed some guy from outside, some Dagestani guy. And after my holiday, it would have given me like 6 weeks to do 5 rounds. But then even when you look at the card was half dead. They haven't even sold it out. It's a 10k stadium. And I'm like...
It's not worth it, is it?
Lad, that's what gets me excited when you say 60k. And I was saying even like, move him to Frankfurt, even though he's unranked. He's never fought in Octagon. If it gets me on Frankfurt, then...
do it.
But...
And they're still looking for someone for you, are they? Behind the scenes. Do you not hear nothing until you've got an opponent?
It's mad because the owner was on a podcast. I think he was on his own YouTube live. And I'm sitting waiting, don't know if I'm on the card. If I'm not on the card, but in my head I'm like, surely I am.
Yeah.
But he's on a YouTube live and one of the fans has asked him what about Shem in Frankfurt, and he said no. He said, I don't speak the language, so I don't know. I just seen I actually seen the journalist post it in English, and that's where I seen it, and he said that I don't deserve to be on the card. And there's no one he wants to see me with in the promotion on the card. And I just thought...
Do you know, in about fucking 3 years, lad, everyone's going to be kissing your ass, you know? And that's the best way to look about it.
I hope not.
No, but that's the best way to look at it. Because all these people who are saying no at the minute, in 3 years' time, you won't have enough time, lad, because you are just getting opponents left, right and centre. And that's the best way to look at things right now. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what? I think the side that people don't see as well, which is, I have to give Octagon the due, lad. They can't force people to fight me.
No, they can't. If people aren't taking the fight,
if there's people in the ranking above me, because I don't know, like, my name's getting offered on contracts and these are saying no, they don't come back to me and go, by the way, you said no.
Yeah.
But what I do know is, I'm a mouthy cunt and I call them all out on social media and I see them all arguing with each other, but they never argue with me. They never reply me. They never answer my call-outs. I shout on the mic and I say someone's name. I DM them afterwards and I say, lad, ask for me then, bro. And they just read it and don't reply. I understand what's going on, lad. It's hard to match me right now.
But the thing is as well, though, you'd think... I mean, obviously, the fucking promotion itself probably knows more than anyone what's going on behind the scenes. But you'd think, considering, obviously, the weight your name carries in the promotion as well, they'd be doing everything they could to put you on the biggest cards and the biggest venues and the biggest pay-per-views, because, like, as you said before, they mentioned about the needle mover and losing 150k, was it?
Something like that.
And pay-per-view sales.
Yeah, for the Bucconi one. But they got it in the end on Eden.
They got it.
Which is a bigger card.
They got it.
I put him asleep in front of all of his fans.
They weren't happy either, were they, in the arena after it?
No, but...
Seeing the clip again the other day after you finished them, man, and it was hostile.
Well, imagine some Czech guy come to Liverpool and put me to sleep in the first round and I never landed a punch in front of 30,000 Scousers.
Especially after all the stuff in the build-up as well.
They'd be going mad afterwards, wouldn't they? I'm lucky I didn't get fucking jumped, lad.
Yeah, especially after all the stuff in the build-up, it was as heated as you're going to see it, you know what I mean? It was like, it wasn't even like it was a thing to drive sales, there was like a genuine dislike in there for each other. Like it's...
That's the thing though with me, that it's always going to be real. I fought Jan Malach and I was cool with him. I can fight guys and if I liked them, I liked them. I fought Arthur Lehman on my debut and I liked him. He didn't understand what I was saying, but he probably didn't like me, but I thought, wow, he's all like this guy. But if I don't like you, you'll know.
Obviously, if people are coming at you weird, or people that you've got to sort of, especially in that environment as well, you've got to match that, you know what I mean? You can't be seen to, even though like, it wouldn't be a case of backing down if someone's mouthing off at you and there's cameras there and you know you're having it with them anyway. It's a different kind of environment as well. And it's just
not only that, people don't understand like that, the mindset you put yourself in when you're going into a fight knowing that I'm going to try and kill this guy and he's going to try and kill me. So there's already that something between you. Even if you're cool and you're cordial, there's still a bit of, you can see it in the eyes.
Because as well, especially I've like, it's not like they've just been training either, you know, they've been watching tape and they've been studying you and what you do.
Been on your Insta every night.
They've been looking, like they're lying in bed and they're watching tape and that, and it's like, even if
recording your stories and that.
Sending it to the boys and that.
What do you reckon of this?
It's like, it's I don't know, it just, Because obviously as well, how many fights have you got left on your octagon contract at the minute?
2.
2.
2 fights left.
And like, so what's the situation? I mean, obviously, even though completely hypothetically,
smoke someone in Frankfurt.
yeah,
Main event. They said they're coming back to England next year. That's what I've heard. I've heard Manchester, I've heard London, I've heard Dublin. I don't know.
Oh, sorry, 1 second.
It's alright.
Oh, well, that's sorry. It's alright. Yeah, I want to sit down there, so it's okay, but. Right, we'll cut back in now. So go on, sorry, you were saying.
Yeah, they said
they're coming back to the UK.
They said they're coming back to England next year. I've heard Manchester, I've heard London, I've heard Dublin, which is in England, but it's our region.
Scouse in Ireland, still selling well, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're the easy ones for everyone to get to as well.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be sick.
So if I could do Frankfurt and then if I put on another big show, it's got to be a main event on it, lad. Like there's other English lads who have had, or other UK lads who have had main events before I have. So I think now it's my time.
It's about time, innit? It's been a long time coming. What do you think as well? I don't know if obviously you've given it much thought, because obviously there is still fights on your contract with Octagon, but thinking forward, after that, say there's 2 fights on the contract, they be within their best interests to renew or at least try and re-sign you. In your head, ideally, hypothetically again, let's say, what is next after it?
Show me the money. Hey, I've got kids to feed.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm a prize fighter, lad. Highest bidder wins. Let's see though, there has to be offers on the table as well. Like, before I re-sign to Octagon, every major promotion you can think of come out the woodwork to sign me. So I know now it'll be even
Has there ever been any contact from, like, you know, you like your Cage Warriors, UFC, anything like that?
Well, my manager owns Cage Warriors, doesn't he?
Does he? Yeah.
Same guy.
Yeah. So that path could be there. I've had contact off PFL, Bellator.
Yeah.
I could name them all. I could sit here.
Yeah.
The only one who hasn't is the UFC.
So if that contract came up, that would be taken.
Depends on the pay, doesn't it?
Surely though, UFC's massive, lad.
UFC's massive, lad, but
is the pay different?
Going into the UFC, your first contract's normally like 12 and 12.
Yeah. Is it? Yeah.
So I'd be taking a pay cut to go now.
But then,
so if I'm on my next contract now and they offer me a big deal.
At the end of the day,
some of these
you've
guys,
got to look after yourself, innit?
Yeah, some of these guys in octagons, your Vermolas and your Attilas are making serious bank, lad. They fucking go and look on Instagram later and go and look at Vermola, lad. He's got tigers in his house, lions in his house.
Oh yeah, he's making that Arabian money then.
He's making money, bro. So obviously, if they're coming to me and they're treating me nice, lad.
Yeah, if they've got the money to spend, lad, then.
Yeah. But at the same time, the UFC are the UFC. It's something you'd have to sit down and think and take seriously.
Yeah.
But as of right now, lad, I'm an octagon fighter.
Yeah.
I'm happy with octagon.
Of course.
And I want to win these next 2 fights, and I'm not looking past these next 2 fights.
Where are you in terms of the rankings with Octagon at the minute?
Oh, lad, don't get me started on this.
Go on.
You lined me up there, didn't you, lad? Hey.
Do you know what? I haven't even looked. That's why I was asking. I haven't even looked.
So before Poconi, I was ranked 4th.
Okay.
And then I've beat Poconi and gone down to 7th. So do the math, lad. For some reason, it's a win's a minus.
It's not adding up there, is it?
It's not, is it, lad?
It's not.
But I don't know, lad. I can't answer them questions.
No, of course,
they can,
of course. You seem to be, I don't know if I've seen on your Instagram as well at the minute, you seem to be, I don't know if you're training more at Next, have you always trained at Next Gen?
Yeah, since I've come back to Liverpool, I've always been at Next Gen. Yeah.
It must be for, like, obviously with you doing what you're doing and you've got the goals you've got. When you're in the gym every day, obviously, and you're on the mat with people, like, obviously, like, you see people like Paddy and Molly who have went to the UFC and who've smashed it as well. It must be, like, inspiring in a way to see, like, it's right there with you, you know what I mean? And it's doable. Because they've paved the way massively for people, for fighters coming out of Liverpool. Yeah. And I think even a lot of England as well, they've shone a lot of light onto onto the whole UK MMA scene.
Everyone loves Paddy, don't they?
Yeah.
Like they do, because there's a personality, but like you, lad, you've got your own personality. Well, I like your personality because you're funny when it comes to face-off and that, lad, you're just real. Do you know what I mean? Whereas so is Paddy.
Yeah.
I think that builds a bigger crowd anyway, regardless.
I think being in the gym around Paddy, Molly, even some of the other lads who are like doing really well in Cage Warriors, whatever Luke Riley's done, what Fletcher's done, what Adam Cullen's doing. Because don't forget, I was gone for so long training away.
Yeah.
You put all that on a big pedestal, and then you come here and you watch them train, and you train with them, and you spar with them, and you go, oh yeah, these have been doing what I've been doing for the last 8 years.
Yeah.
And now you're sparring with them, and you're like, oh yeah, I am where I thought I was.
Yeah.
And it just reconfirms it, where before, I used to watch the UFC events and put fighters on a pedestal a little bit, where now I'm watching them, and I'm like, I see through the smoke and mirrors, you know, I see through the marketing, lad, and I'm watching them for the skill set now.
Yeah, it's a peek behind the curtain into that side of it as well, because obviously with the UFC comes like so much more media as well, so then you've half got to promote yourself in different ways, even with like down to like Paddy does loads on YouTube and stuff like that. Like it's when there's that much attention on you, you've got to do something with it. When you're in like with the UFC, you've seen it happen before with people, like if someone has got their own following and they see them as like a star.
Sean O'Malley,
Paddy.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor was the first one, like, you know what I mean? And then
Ronda Rousey, Nate Diaz.
They will, if you've got your own thing that you bring to the table, they will elevate you as well. Which, like, it's...
Fucking hell. Lad, I'm on a podcast here, lad, you're moving in it. Yeah, wait there. Go on, say something.
Yeah, you don't know. Shem, UFC, you don't know. Come on.
Jeez. Go on, see you later. Sorry, lad.
It's sweet. Yeah, it's sad. So, do you know, obviously, because you've not had an opponent off Octagon for a while, and then you're saying him with Paddy, he's been in camp for the Bobby Green fight, which he's just won. Did you do much work with him in his camp for that fight? Were you like on the mats with him still throughout the fight, or did he bring in other people specifically?
This is the thing with Paddy, like he's super secure in the team around him.
Yeah.
Super secure in his skill set and his own training partners.
Yeah.
A lot of people bring in guys from outside because they don't trust the circle around them.
Yeah.
Where he knows, like, Bobby Green's a southpaw, I'm a southpaw, Liam Malloy's a southpaw.
Yeah.
He's trusting in that we're a better fighter than him.
Yeah.
So he doesn't feel like he needs to bring no one else in.
It's sick though as well, like keeping it all in house only must do good for like the gym as a whole as well, though, do you know what I mean? Like people, even people coming in the gym and seeing you all like preparing together and that, like you see, because I think he spoke about it after the fight as well. He said with Next Gen, like how much its training partners mean to you in the gym and that, like it seems like a very tight-knit team and a tight-knit group as well. It's like...
Well, imagine if you were in the gym every day with Paddy aspiring to be where he is and do the things he's done, but he was bringing in outside guys that no one else got to work with.
Yeah.
You'd be like, well, how can I achieve that then? Because
There seems like there's a gap to bridge there then, innit?
Yeah, where he's training with the same guys we are, he's training with the same coaches we are, he's doing the same work we are, and then you go, well, if I stay here and keep doing this, then I can achieve what he can achieve.
Yeah.
It's somewhat of an inspiration though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, because it is in-house, and he's fighting, you know, and sparring with yous, then he goes out and wins. Do you know what I mean? So it makes it more of like an inspiration. You're just looking at it, I can do that, because he's only doing what we're doing. Do you know what I mean? Like what yourself...
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair as well, you're sparring with we said before that performance against Bobby Green was the best performance of his career so far. He looked even on the feet.
Could even be submission of the year, lad, in the whole UFC.
The way as soon as he caught that takedown, he switched from a guillotine to a triangle in like half a second, and the transition was unbelievable, lad. But obviously, when he's preparing to fight high level people who are you know, the ranked in the UFC, and
they're the best in the world.
You are doing that preparation with them. It makes you better. It makes the people around you better. It must bring like the standard of the whole gym up with it. Yeah. So it's like, and I think that's why you're seeing so many other fighters. Like you're like a blueprint of it. Who are coming out of Next Gen, who are fighting at like a high level, and then it's like I can't imagine you're going to be short of options going forward as well. Do you know what I mean? I think going forward, it's only going to be especially with the way things have. I mean, the Octagon have still done well by you know what I mean.
Yeah,
they've treated you well, but obviously with things at the minute, there's going to be other promotions who are spotting it, and who are going to be keeping an eye on the situation.
Lad, there's promotions that are reaching out now while I'm under contract.
They will.
They're like vultures, lad. They're
They're mad, aren't they? They're mad. They're everywhere, lad. They're everywhere.
But to be honest, lad, I hate all that side.
The media.
Lad, if it was up to me, I'd throw my iPhone in the bin. I'd have a shithead Nokia. I'd go to the gym and I'd train every day and I'd fight.
Yeah.
And that'd be it. And I'd be happy to just do that.
Because to be fair, you get with the media. With the media, as soon as they jump on it, you'd probably see like the whole thing that with you and Octagon at the minute probably got blown out of proportion massively because the amount of people jumping on and making articles and stuff like that. Yeah. Whereas it like that probably would have been something that could have just been dealt with in house with the conversation. Do you know what I mean?
It's always like that though, lad.
As soon as the media and you know what I mean, like there's all these outlets making articles and writing this and writing that. You know what I mean? It complicates it. It's the same with everything. I get it with fucking obviously different industries altogether, but you get it with doing like comedy and that. I thought it was just go to venues, tell jokes, you fuck off. But then obviously you meet people and then everyone's got their own idea of how it should be, and then everything gets all fucking all wishy-washy, lad. It's a fucking
politics behind scenes. They're never what you'd expect them to be, lad, and you can't explain it to the casual fans.
Never.
Like, why aren't you fighting him? Why are you scared to fight him? Why aren't...
Yeah.
Like,
but it is, you want to, but it's not your choice, is it?
Hello, it is me again. Now this is just a little quick one to let you know about the Patreon. If you're already on the Patreon, feel free to fast forward. If you're not on the Patreon, don't you dare fast forward. Now, if you're wondering what can you get over on the Patreon, you get early access to every single episode of the podcast, meaning you'll get it 2 days earlier than everybody else. You get a little insight before everybody else sees it, and you also get Patreon exclusive episodes of the podcast that you will only see if you're on Patreon. And then the more people we get on Patreon allows us to also start doing Patreon specials where we can go out and get up to some madness and we can show you a little bit more of us and what we're getting up to. If you want to join the community on the Patreon, it's £4 a month. We're building something really special over there at the minute, and as always, the support on the Patreon means the absolute world to us. Now, I'm not going to waste any more of your time. We'll jump straight back into the episode, so stay tuned. See you in there.
Yeah. Exactly, lad. Exactly.
And to be honest as well, that must get frustrating because there must be times when you're sitting there, you're probably in your prime or approaching your prime now, and you're gonna want to be kicking on. So having to wait and seeing all these other things.
I look at it like this: Alex Pereira's 38, lad.
Yeah.
And he's had the same amount of fights as pretty much I have.
Yeah.
So
anyone can do anything.
I can guarantee you now, he don't live a cleaner lifestyle than me. I can guarantee you now.
Pescatarian and everything. You didn't even have a sweet before.
Bro.
Speaking of,
it's only got 78 kg of sugar in, lad. All right.
That's sound.
It's good for you, lad, if anything you want.
Most fighters, lad, after the fight's done, you want to have a little drink, you want to go out, smoke some whatever. You get me? I'm living full clean all year round.
I love it, me, lad, when Paddy finishes fights, lad. Just gets bulky.
Straight back on the salon.
But it's what works for you, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think I could do that and still perform well.
Yeah. Well, he does, though, doesn't he? He eats, gains weight, and then loses it.
You've got to think, forget the physical aspect of it. You've got to think of the mental aspect. How can you come to work every day and do your job and be the best in the world if you're not happy?
Yeah.
So he needs to do what makes him happy.
Comes above anything.
Yeah, and that's what makes him happy. And then when he has a fight, leading up to it, he gets in shape, then starts the camp in shape.
Yeah.
Where for me, if I eat shit food, I don't feel happy. I need to be eating clean, living good to feel happy.
Yeah.
Sleeping early. Lad, I have a late night and I wake up and I'm just like depressed for the day.
Discipline's an important thing as well in anything, but especially with what you're doing as well. It's huge, it's a very high risk fucking. It's not a normal job. Do you know what I mean? I don't think there's any other job in the world where you get punched and kicked in the head so much that. So discipline is probably keeps you where you need to be. Do you know what I mean? It keeps you in the gym. It keeps you fucking showing up, training, and then it's obviously paying off. It's showing. You know what I mean? It's I feel like a lot of fighters as well. You see it. It's like people in the UFC, like John Jones. He's the best ever, but he doesn't live a disciplined life, lad. And it taints how people view them sometimes as well, I think. And I guess
that's what makes him happy, though, doesn't
it? Yeah, because doing cocaine and crashing into cars makes you happy.
I think that makes him even better.
He's a sick man.
Because I think to myself, So if he would have been the strictest, most disciplined person
Imagine
in
how
the
good he
world,
would have been.
would he? But maybe he would have and would be worse.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is the thing that blows my mind sometimes. Is that recklessness making him a better fighter?
Does it give him an edge? Does it keep
Yeah,
him? Does it keep him where he is?
Yeah, I don't know.
It could do, you know. It
I don't
could
know.
do. So like, UK MMA at the minute, as we said, it's got the biggest pool of talent it's ever had. You know, when you're looking at people like, you've got Aspinall. He trained most of his early years in Liverpool. He's in a situation at the minute similar to probably to the situation you're in with Octagon, where he's calling for a certain fight. He's calling for the Jones fight. He feels like he deserves it. He does. He's interim champ. He's done everything else outside of that before getting to it, and he's like,
I don't think he'll get it.
Do you know?
Nah.
Do you think he fights Steve Hay on the tyres?
John Jones has done everything he could have possibly in the career. He's going to go down as the greatest of all time. But if he loses to Aspinall, he doesn't. Is he going to take the risk? And now, me personally, I'd be looking back one day and going, what if? So me personally, I'd say I'd want to do it, but I can't speak for John. And I think he's done everything. He's paid all his dues. You got to think about the injuries, the age. Can he even be asked, waking up in his silk sheets? Does he really want it anymore? I don't know. These are questions that only he could answer. But I think the UFC will want to protect John's legacy.
Dana White says it himself all the time. Every chance he gets to talk about John Jones, he's saying how he's the greatest combat sports athlete of all time. And I think if there's ever a time you're looking at someone like Aspinall and going, he could do him, it is now. He's 37 and he's 38. He's gone up in weight as well, so he's carrying a lot more.
And if it's any fighter that you've seen who could have potentially fought John, you go, it was DC. Maybe Gustafsson. Yeah. And Aspinall. Yeah.
They're the only three you think could hold the torch to him, even slightly. It's because obviously, like, I know a lot of people who I speak to who like fight or who train, they say they don't watch. Like
I can't get that, me lad. I know loads of people like that.
One of my mates is a world champion in K1, and he said he doesn't. He's trained in KC with Curtis Campbell and stuff like that. He's trained in there with them all the time, and he said he just doesn't watch the fight. Like, he's not.
Sometimes I come into the gym and speak to Riley about MMA, and he's like, I was watching the boxing, me.
Nah, I'm like, you can't.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Didn't you watch that card last night? And he's like, nah, bro.
Studying in a way, innit? Like, you're learning, you're watching, taking it in.
I'm obsessed. I am obsessed.
It's fascinating, innit?
Yeah, I watch every event. I watch even some of them mad crazy ones, like where Eddie Hall's fucking fighting too, because I just love MMA.
It's mad, it's some of them ones to do. Did you see the video of Eddie Hall getting dropped? It might have even been Aspinall, you know. I think he was sparring and dropped him with the egg kick. Was it not Tom? I could have thought it was, but he fucking put him on his ass. Would you ever, do you know what, because as well nowadays, there's a lot of YouTubers, influencers doing their own thing, doing their own card. Would you ever, if ever an offer come in for that, would you ever jump at that, or is that not something you'd go for?
There's a few things that I want to do before I call it a day.
Go on.
And there's a few things I've asked Octagon, and he'd been like, lad, fucking shut up, lad.
Yeah.
I've asked for a grappling match in the cage.
Yeah.
I've asked for a bare knuckle MMA fight. That one, they were like, lad, what are you on about, lad?
Yeah, you'd have to get on them Russians for that. I don't do fight between Haydales.
Lad, I've got a few mad ones that I want to do. Have you ever seen the jiu-jitsu in the car?
Yeah, it looks heavy.
I want to do that, lad. Yeah, come on, lad. Look, no one's beating me at that, lad.
Car jiu-jitsu, man.
Have you seen the one in the post box?
Nah, I'm not doing that one. It's just in the telephone box.
Horrible.
Like that.
I don't want to do bare knuckle boxing. I don't want to do pure boxing. And I don't want to do that telephone booth.
No way.
Well, I wouldn't mind. Do you know what I wouldn't mind?
Would you not go?
No amount of money, I'm not doing it. No amount of money, I'm not doing it. No. The medieval one.
With the sword and the shield
and that. Give me a go with that. I'll have a go with that.
And some of them get hurt in that though, you know. Even though they've got the armour on, you see some of them when they've been hit in the head.
I've seen one where your man's got the shield and he's on top of the guy and he's just whacking him in the face with it non-stop until the ref just like, oh.
Yeah, you got to check he's still in there.
I don't want to make a career of it.
But you want to have a go.
Yeah, I want to say like, I done everything, me. I had to go.
How far do you reckon you go in the car jiu-jitsu?
Oh, lad, I go to the top.
Yeah,
come on, lad. Yeah, come on.
Do you know what? I seen one literally before it was in Russia, obviously, and they've got a crane, and the crane's hanging a storage container
this,
above a big lake, and they're stood on the storage container just having it bare knuckle, and it's swinging like that, and they're just throwing each other off. And it looks like it's a Keshi's Castle thing.
I'd love to just double leg them off into the water.
Just keep going with them. And it's mad. It's like, I think as well nowadays, Darren Till just done an event to Dubai and Fort on a card. Like if you're a fighter these days, there's options now, probably more than, even if it's not probably like your first choice. There's so much shit going on now. And it, like even on like an amateur level, but like there's influencers and YouTubers selling stadiums out. There's so many more options than there's ever been for fighters.
No YouTuber's gonna fight me, lad.
No, of course they're not. But like, no. What do you reckon you do to a YouTuber?
In what sport though? They'd have more of a chance if they fought me in boxing and they trained pure boxing for like 5 years and then I fought him, where I'm still training MMA every day. That'd be his best chance. But
MMA, how long do you reckon it takes you to get them out of there?
There's not a YouTuber on the planet that if I stop training now and they train for 5 years could beat me.
And lads, you know what I like?
Unless he was like 20 kilos bigger than me.
No pace for you to jump
No,
in
you'd take it, but he wouldn't.
MMA I would. If it was MMA, but not. But I just.
But lad, that's the quickest money you probably ever make in your life.
Mike Perry's been paid $2 million and probably lost about half his brain cells. Didn't look like. Do you know what I did? Watch the highlights as well, because I was expecting like if anybody, because like I know obviously I think a lot of the YouTuber stuff as well. Lad, I think, to be honest, it's like it's just for the cameras, lad. You know who's gonna win.
Obviously, lad.
I think there's an element of it which is rigged.
Do you reckon I say this to the lads, like,
I do.
Is it put in your contract how many punches you can throw around, or?
Lad, it's because it's like you're looking at people. Tyron Woodley he didn't look good at the end of his UFC career, so like you could half see that coming in a way. He didn't throw a punch, I think, in his last 2 fights in the UFC, so it was like
Ben Askren the same.
Ben Askren never threw. He was just a wrestler. That's all. That was all he had.
I swear that was.
But then Mike Perry,
that one.
Mike Perry's a dog, lad, and
I think Jake Paul's massive as well.
Yeah, he's huge. He's a cruiserweight. He's on
all the fucking.
He's on all the extra
stuff. He's got no
stuff.
hair, lad.
See, that's the thing as well. I don't think they're getting tested, you know, because if you look at it, they're not
Obviously
fighting.
not, lad.
They're not fighting in states. They're not fighting in states where, like, that's why he's never fought in Vegas, because there's an anti-doping commission and all shit like that.
Who's the show ran by?
His company. It's his promotion, lad.
So he's doing it however he wants to do it, lad. Why would you test yourself?
Yeah.
If you know you're cheating.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm cheating, but I'm going to catch myself.
I'm going to let you all know.
Yeah, you wouldn't, would you? You'd
have
to be
in it. It's fucked, man. I wonder how many more like 45-year-old veteran MMA fighters he's gonna get in here before someone does him now, because it's got to happen.
No, he'll start fighting boxers, I think.
Do you reckon he'll actually go down the professional route though?
I think he will.
I reckon he will.
Yeah, if you notice, like, he's gone more and more quiet on the social media compared to like before.
He does seem to just be boxing now, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he's taking it seriously now for the future fights, because he knows he'll never be able to beat these guys if he doesn't.
Yeah, because I suppose as well, if he keeps doing all the talking and he's fighting all MMA fights and he's fighting YouTubers, and then he does decide one day to step up.
But eventually the pay-per-views will just stop coming in.
Yeah.
Because people will go, I don't want to watch him beat another.
Yeah. There's only so long people are going to be asked.
I think that's probably what he's fucking thinking now, though, isn't he?
But if he steps up and starts fighting real boxers,
yeah.
It continues, don't it? You keep the ball rolling.
100%. It's just, you wonder how much... You wonder how long it's got in it in general, though, because if he goes up, say he goes pro and he loses his first couple of fights, probably dies off there and then. They'd probably like, if he goes up and he wins a couple, even if it's against Journeyman and he goes up, gets a couple of wins, as soon as he loses...
Depends how he loses. If he loses on a split decision, you talk about the rematch.
Yeah.
See, that's where I think it rigged me.
In what way?
Where it's rematches and all that bollocks.
Yeah.
It's just a clause in the contract, isn't it?
It's just, yeah, but it's fucking, it'll always end the draw somehow, and then the rematch for more money.
He done it with Canelo and Triple G a couple of times, to be fair, didn't he?
They do have people's pants down, don't they?
Do you know what, to be honest?
That's why I like MMA though, lad.
There seems to be a lot less of it. There's always decisions you're going to look at and go...
Yeah, there's some shit decisions, but
there's
it's
never
not
any
straight away like, we need a rematch.
Yeah.
It's like, let's move on. If it happens in a few years, it happens in a few years. Unless you've like defended your belt 6 times and they go, do you know what, he's deserved
Yeah,
it.
you're lapping the division. Usman done it. Usman went round, he went round the division, then went round them again.
Yeah.
Before he got beat, you know what I mean?
And then deserved the rematch.
What did you watch fucking, did you watch the Manchester card?
I was there, innit?
Or you were cornering, mate?
No, I went cornering. I was just there.
Oh yeah, you were right in the front row,
Yeah.
mate. You're actually seeing it on the fucking, seeing the camera pan past and that.
I wish I was cornering because then I could have got backstage.
Yeah, got a little
Dana in
interview
a
in.
headlock.
And it was fucking, what was it like being in the arena for that as well? Because obviously, despite the fact it was even people you train with every day who were fighting, being in there and seeing that.
There was a few things that I never expected. Watching certain people on the card and thinking, how the fuck's he here? And I know many people who should be who aren't.
Yeah.
Take your guess who that is.
Yeah.
Oh, me, lad. And then, surprised, like I know Paddy's a draw, but surprised, like, how we shut it down, lad. Like,
Yeah.
There's a few people who got a big cheer, like Makayev when he walked out.
Yeah.
Tom when he walked out. Leon when he... Lad,
Different when it's Paddy,
shut
innit?
it down.
Different, lad.
Every single person. Like, when people are fighting, you've got to sit down. You're not allowed to stand. If you go and stand at the front, security come over.
Yeah.
Lad, when Paddy's come out, everyone's standing and security are coming over. And my luck, he comes to me and goes, sit down now or I'm dragging you out. And lad, this is what I love about the MMA fans. Look, it was mad because they're all taking pictures with me all night, so everyone's on me.
Yeah.
And they're all like, fuck it, Shem, you'll have to take all 300 of us. And I'm like, yes, come on, boys.
Love rallying it, lad.
Paddy come out and everyone was just standing. And in the end, security was just like, leave
There's
them.
nothing you can do in the end, lad.
You're not kicking the old crowd out, are you?
Nah.
I think even the way he got him out though, lad, like, I said to you before, I thought he'd have a harder time dealing with Bobby Green. He's been about for years, lad. He's ranked, and as you said, it's the toughest division in MMA. Like, I was expecting more of a back and forth, and especially as well. You're thinking about it. He's fighting at what, 4 in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. It's no different to Bobby Green. Lad. That's the time frame. That's the time zone he's on. I thought it looked like Leon struggled. He looked tired, but
I think he's the only one who did that I could see.
Yeah, he did. Even coming out of the first round, he looked like he looked deflated. Like it could have just been like he did, like, you know what I mean. Bilal could have just been better than he expected.
Why the
Bilal
fuck
just
did
come
he
with
do
a
it?
really good game plan, mate. He just pressured them to death, lad.
He didn't let him
He was in
take a
his
step
face.
at him once.
Leon's really good on the outside and very crisp striking.
Yeah.
You smother him and make it a bit ugly, lad. It's harder to be that clean, crisp.
Bilal's striking looked better than I thought it would do, though. I'm not gonna, like, I know his coach said he looked like Canelo on the feet, but
As fast as Canelo, he said.
yeah, but I don't know, man, he looked good though. Like he was landing shots, to be fair. I know, they weren't the crispest or the cleanest, but
Lad, he had a good walkout though. You know, when he walked out, all the Palestine flags come out, all the Asian boys
lad,
were
he
up
got
and
a
that.
good reception, like, you know what I mean? And even after it, he was going round in the car out the top with the belt, lad, and like, you know what I mean? Like, even the streets in man, he had to be chocolate, you know what I mean?
I seen a journalist write on Twitter when Bilal was walking out, this is the worst walkout ever. And I was like, what, this is a sick walkout? The song was heavy, everything.
Yeah, I don't, you know what, I know he gets a lot of shit, he can't, his fights can be boring, but I like him, you know. Like, you know, when you watch his interviews and that, and he seems like he knows a lot of people think he's a tit lad, but like, he just seems like, I don't know, he got, you know, one of the kids who was seen on like loads of the footage in Palestine, that, like, it went viral. He's brought the kid over to America and then, hasn't he? Like, he's fucking like got the kid away from him and that. And he's a good guy. You know, and it was
I like him. I think he's all right. I just didn't like him more than Leon.
Yeah. If
it was another fight, maybe I'd root for him. I've rooted for him a few times, lad. But
to be honest as well, I think after the way the fight, I know he fought Leon. It was a few years ago, but he couldn't get near him in the first fight. Lad. He must the work he must have put in between then and now to get back, and like he looked good, lad. And I think the only person you're looking at 170 you think could beat him, maybe Shavkat.
I was about to say Shavkat.
Shavkat's good.
Yeah.
I think.
But there's what's his name as well, that Jack.
Della Maddalena.
Yeah, he's good.
He is. He's good on the feet, but like,
even when you seen him with Gilbert, he did hold his own a little bit. He's fucking Granby rolled up a few times.
Yeah, he did.
The more experience he gets, the better he's going to get at that. And lads, you don't know in this 4-ounce gloves, lad. All it takes is one shot sometimes.
Yeah, it's different, innit? As well, it's different. It doesn't matter who's winning or losing. One shot can change it.
One shot can change, yeah.
It is just what it is. Like, you've seen it happen time and time again, and it'll keep happening. You can never really call it, but it's just, I think as well, like, when you look at the divisions at the minute, it's fascinating to even just try and imagine how they're going to, like, you look at the UFC at the minute, it's so stacked. You've got 135, which is probably as good as it's ever been. 145, it's always interesting. 55's always interesting. 170's interesting. Heavyweight's interesting again. Pereira's fucking revived light heavyweight.
Pereira's revived the UFC, never mind.
He has, hasn't he?
Conor kind of went away a bit more, and it was like, they wasn't in trouble, but they were thinking about shit.
Who have they got?
Yeah, and
who's
then
the guy?
Pereira just fucking lit it up. Obviously, Izzy's always been quite big as well. Paddy now as well. It's mad, lad, that like we have conversations and speak about Paddy from round here, lad.
And you look at the names you're putting him in the conversation with, it's crazy, innit?
Look on Instagram, he's got more followers than UFC champions.
Lad, he's one of the biggest names, not just in the UK or
in MMA.
in the organisation, in the sport.
In MMA history.
Like, it's his following speaks for itself, do you know what I mean? And what he's doing when he's fighting. And obviously people question the Jared Gordon fight. It was a close fight, do you know what I mean? It was one of them. If it had went the other way, people wouldn't have been saying it was a robbery. Do you know what I mean? It's a close fight, lad. Like, but
no, I think people would say it was a robbery. I think that's fickle MMA fans, though.
It's whoever you're backing, innit?
Yeah, I think because Paddy won, it's a robbery, and then if Jared would have won, it'd be a robbery on the other side.
Yeah.
I don't listen to all that, me, lad.
Social media, innit? It's just
at
noise.
the time, I thought he won.
Yeah.
If you score the fight according to the new rules of takedowns don't score, grappling doesn't score, it's just classed as a change of position.
Yeah.
Then you got to base the fight on damage.
Who wins the position and who?
Then I think he won, but it was close. It was close.
He shut a lot of people up though with on literally on the weekend.
But still, them same people are still going to talk shit, lad.
They're going to, because people are just haters. It doesn't matter. Like, there's going to be some people, no matter what he does. Nah. But
he has to beat Islam and become champ, and then people go, he's alright.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Or they'll go, I've always rated him, me.
Yeah, I said he was heavy, I've always been on him. But yeah, I don't know, I just think the way he got him out and how quick he done it, it's looking up for him in the division as well. He's probably got so many options between the top 15 and the top 10 now. You said even before about Fiziev. Is Fiziev still top 10?
No, yeah, he is.
Like,
I think he's 7 or something, isn't he?
I think
he's up there anyway.
Because it's only soon Moicano's fighting Saint Denis, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I reckon in an ideal world, again, hypothetically, you see who wins that fight, and then if Fiziev's still not got a fight, because he's not been back for ages either, and people want to see him, put him up against a big name. It's a test for the two of them. Do you know what I mean? It's an interesting one. And I think, as I said, even with like light heavyweight, you've got Pereira could be going up to heavyweight.
I don't want to see that.
I don't think he wins at heavyweight.
That's why I don't want to see it though. Because then you go, let's say he goes up there and he got knocked out the way Curtis Blade got knocked out. You'd go, oh, why have we done that? It was a shutout.
You half wrecked them then, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a
it's an illusion.
Yeah, it'd be different if he went up and he looked really good and he lost on a decision or something, or he got knocked out at the end of the fifth. Yeah. But if they're throwing him straight to heavyweight to fight Tom, lad, you know how hard it is to gain all that weight and feel good?
Do you know what I think would make more sense? Like, I know it's obviously not going to happen. You do Tom and Jones now, and then do Pereira, Stipe. Because I think Stipe's a winnable fight for him.
Yeah, Stipe's old.
It's not going to be easy because he's still having to go up to heavyweight himself. But that makes sense. I think he wins it.
It's more winnable than...
And then you build him up then for the winner of Jones Aspinall.
But I don't think he wants to stay at heavyweight. I think he just wants to do heavyweight for the legacy thing.
Oh yeah, because he's 38 now, as you said before.
So if he goes up on a non-title fight and beats Stipe, that might not interest him. He might say no. He might be like, no, I want the belt.
He does seem to, doesn't he? That I think as he come into the UFC late, he come in late as well, so he's not going to want to wait around, is he? He's like, if he's right there now, he's going to want to get it while it's there. Do you know what I mean? It's mad.
I'd just keep him in his weight class if it was me.
He looks good at light heavyweight. I think he looked a bit when he got knocked out by Adesanya. I think if that had been 205.
Maybe where's the shots a bit better.
Yeah. Because obviously when you're cutting the weight, you're dehydrating your brain. You're more susceptible to getting clipped and getting knocked out. I think if that was
I
at
don't want to
205,
see them fight again either.
I don't think you need to. I think Adesanya's got one back on him, but it's 3-1. Even if they fight again, and let's say Adesanya wins again, it's what are they fighting for the 6th time?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Makes a bigger problem, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just they hold stuff up. I think it's whether or not Pereira wants to fight Ankalaev though, as well, because he hasn't fought anyone who can.
Tough styles in it as well for him.
He's a grappler from Dagestan, you know what I mean? It's like he's never fought that. He's not necessarily had favourable matchups. He's had hard matchups considering he's not been in MMA long as well. But it's like that's a different kind of fight for him. He's not fighting like a Yeri or like a Jamal Hill who's gonna try and knock him out. It's someone who's gonna come in.
Idiot though, when he lad.
I did when he was saying he thought it was still on time out and that after the fight.
Protect yourself at all times.
And he touched gloves as well. It wasn't like hair was still in there, like talking or anything. Like he's got him away. He touched gloves. He like nodded, and then he's been going again, and he's got clipped. I think he talked a lot of shit before the fight as well. A lot.
Jamal's just mad for even going in there with that game plan though.
Yeah, I think anyone is. I think if you've been Jamal Hill's probably been grappling longer than Alex Pereira. If you look at how long Pereira's been in MMA, I know he's trained with Glover for years and that, but if you look at probably who's been training grappling more and for longer, it's probably him.
Yeah, probably will be.
You'd at least try and wear on him, try and get him where like he's not being tested. I think if you go in there and you're trying to stand with him, look what's happening to people.
To everyone, yeah.
To literally everyone, it's heavy.
I need to start watching MMA because I don't fucking clue who you are.
I reckon we just start making up names and that, and he'd just be like that.
Like, yeah,
and then ask
heavy.
him, so yeah, what do you reckon?
He's heavy, lad.
You reckon? Yeah.
What do you reckon of Jimbo?
Do you know what? There's a lad, me and my mate, we went to college with him. We don't see him very much anymore. We see him every now and again. But he's...
Go on, name drop him, lad.
Nah, I can't, lad.
You shit
I can't, lad. Couldn't do it. It's Josh.
Yeah, you heard that, Josh.
Yeah, but like, he's one of them where, do you know, if he doesn't know what you're on about, he won't just ask you.
Oh,
He won't just ask you.
He'll
He'll just be like, yeah, so we were all in the booze the other week, like a few of us just sat there, we had a few pints, and something come on, Sky News about the UFC, so then we were all just sitting there, 3 of us talking about the UFC.
And he had to fucking pretend like he knew.
So lad, so then one of my mates, I was sitting there a few pints in, and he's like, yeah, who's the GOAT, lads, who's the GOAT? And then I was like, Mighty Mouse, Demetrius Johnson. I was like, I don't think... I've obviously just like, I was like, I think that's a fairly safe shout, you know. And he went, yeah. He's like, yeah. He went, the way he beat Strickland. And I I'm sat there. I went, what? He went, yeah, the way he beat Strickland. And he went, South African as well. And I was like, do you mean Duplessis? He went, yeah, Mighty Mouse. I was like, what? I was like, you are aware Demetrius Johnson's a 5'3" black male.
So is Duplessis. He's African, man.
He's 6'1", no, he's good. I was just like, and it's horrible. I hate it because like, you get like...
See, I would have had him going for ages. I would have been like, so who else should I bro?
Should have had him going, you know. We were on about light heavyweight, and he was chatting fucking... He's naming lightweights, and then it's like, I just ask a question, just say you don't know.
Yeah,
it's sweet, it's cool.
I'd say I don't know me.
It's one of them. How long have you been recording for, did you? 47. So before we wrap it up, because we've got to shoot off tonight, so we'll keep it to an hour for this one. Obviously, there's 2 fights left on your contract. You've said you want a main event, and then...
I'd ideally want my main event in Liverpool, lad, you know what I'm saying?
Is there anyone you actually want?
Is there a name?
Oh yeah,
you think of
Go for it. Name her up.
So,
straight through the camera.
Germany, obviously, coming up, Frankfurt. There's a man they've announced on the card, and I see he's struggling to get an opponent. I'm hearing Hassan Diaz has ran from him. I'm hearing he's been offered Makhachev, but he wants to go down a weight class. Topalai, Albanian fella from Germany. I'm here if you want to go, lad. I'll smash your face in, kid.
Yes.
But he's another one of them, lad, who's every time I at him goes silent, lad. But I see him arguing with all these other cunts in the comments, lad. So
how do you think you match up against them?
He's 7-0, all first round finishes. And that's why I'm like, this is what the fans want to see, because I'm 11-1, all first round finishes. He's all first round finishes.
Matches well then.
He comes to swing and knock people out.
Yeah.
But I know through the grapevine, someone that I've trained with that trained with him, and he punched them all around the gaff and come back and said, lad, he was shit, you'd kill him. And I think he probably knows that as well.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what
So, judging you then.
yeah.
Is that who ideally, is that who you're after next? Is that who you want?
I wouldn't mind Conrad Driska, but he's another one who's been ducking me. The guys I really want would be like Keita, Paradisia, they're in that €1 million tournament, so
Yeah.
they're already matched up to fight other people in the semi-finals and then the finals after that, so I'm going to let them do whatever they're doing.
The tournaments are interesting now, PFL do it as well with the Grand Prix. It's
They
an
are,
interesting format, isn't it?
Yeah, they are, they're good, but it's one of them. If you take any damage or you get a little injury,
Yeah.
you don't want to pull out the tournament and you're going into the next round
Yeah,
compromised.
What do you reckon about how the PFL do it? Because even when it's outside the Grand Prix, it's like it's not like a ranked division, is it? It's like a league table.
Do you know why I'd never fight in PFL?
Why?
No elbows.
There isn't, is there?
No.
Do you love your
Like a little
elbows, do
elbow
you?
from the
Not a bit.
guard.
I don't even care that I like elbows. I want you to elbow me then. I want to make it. Is it a real fight?
Yeah, I know
Lad,
what
I
you
think we should have soccer kicks. I think we should have knees to the head on the ground. The only thing I'd maybe say shouldn't be allowed would be like groin strikes.
It's a bit,
maybe
yeah,
stamps.
Yeah.
It's not really that technical. Like,
Yeah.
That doesn't do nothing for you. But everything else, I think, let's make it as close to a realistic fight as possible, lad.
Yeah, because then in some instances there as well, it doesn't matter what you trained in, what you've versed in. If it's like if all that's allowed, anything, I don't know, anything can happen at any time anyway in MMA. But that's an added fucking.
People playing the game, dropping the knee or dropping the
Yeah,
hand,
yeah.
so you can't need them in the head and then surviving.
Aljamain Sterling won a title like that. It's mad, isn't it?
Lad, can you imagine how different MMA could be in that division if he would have needed him in the face and that was allowed and everyone's like, yes!
Because then it takes out a lot of people base, a lot of especially defensive grapplers. That's what they do to coast and to buy time. It takes that out the game completely, like almost instantly as well.
I don't agree with it, me, lad.
I don't think it's fair that you should be able to do it. I think it's like, I mean, to be fair, they have changed the rules. I don't know if it's like, I think it's just in the UFC, innit?
They've changed the rules from November. A grounded opponent used to be a weight-bearing hand or palm. Now they've changed the rule to a knee. So if I put my hands on the mat but my knees are off the mat,
You can still get knee in the
I can
face.
still get kneed in the face. Now you've got to drop one knee or two knees.
To be fair, even if
Or
you drop a
both.
knee, you're giving a position up anyway, aren't you? So
Yeah, if you go
there's
to
at
a
least
knee-
a consequence either way then. Yeah,
it's a bit better.
Yeah.
But lad, look at one championship that knockout Mighty Mouse got against Adrian Marias when he kneed him in the face.
When he was
Up
4, he
against the
fell back
cage.
into the cage. Yeah.
We'd see more knockouts like that.
And
That's an illegal knee in the UFC.
Yeah. I think as well it opens because like a lot of people, you see a lot of people in the UFC who like generally tend to just brawl more. Who when they come up against someone who's striking, who's a bit more technical, it gives them maybe a bit more of a chance as well. Because if you can get in and make it a bit dirtier and that, you probably see more interesting. But you probably see a lot of more technical strikers getting put on the back foot a bit more as well. If it's a bit more of a back and forth as well, I think it makes sense.
I think you should allow it, but do you know what I think it is? They want to maintain this clean image of it's a sport.
The mainstream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't like that. Like it's so brutal. Like even years ago in
It wasn't allowed on like telly in some countries. It was illegal in France for years. MMA. They had to tailor it.
Years ago on Fox, they used to come in between the fights and spray paint the canvas so you couldn't see the blood.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Because
that.
they didn't want viewers to see all the blood on the canvas. Bro,
Well, it's all about though, isn't it?
it's mad. Like when you step in the cage for your fight,
Yeah.
especially like people like majority of my career, every fight in my career I fought on the main card.
Yeah.
So you're getting in after 10 people have already been in there, and the first thing you do is you look on the canvas and there's just blood everywhere, and you're just like,
Yeah, nice.
And that's when you know, like, actually this is real.
Yeah, you get in.
What is that feeling like, you know, walking out? Because I've always thought that, mate, because the build-up's fucking... Do you know what I mean? Do
you know what, lad?
Like that walking out, lad, does that feel like sick or nerve-wracking or a combination of the both?
Imagine you're backstage, you're not hitting pads yet, you're sitting there, you're waiting to go, and you're sitting there in internal conversation with yourself, and you're going, lad, what the fuck are you doing here, lad? What? And then, lad, you're getting up every 2 minutes to fucking shit in the toilet because your fucking stomach's all over the gaff, you can't stop pissing, nerves all over the gaff. Coach calls you up, it's time to hit pads. You're hitting the pads and you're like, oh, something just doesn't feel right, I feel a bit off, or the nerves are getting to you, and you're thinking of a million reasons in your head to not walk out.
Yeah.
Oh, should I just say I'm going to the toilet and just out the back door? Should I go, me leg, I can't fight tonight, lads. And then, lad, you get to that part and the curtain opens and all that goes away. And it's the best feeling in the world.
Of course, I can imagine that, lad. It's just that.
As soon as you hit that walkout, for me, it's like a flip of the switch, lad. And I'm like, I've gone from who I am to now Shem Rock. And
It's a different character, yeah.
It almost is, lad, yeah. And you walk out, all that goes away. And it's the best feeling in the world. And then you get in there, and then it's like, for me anyway, because everyone's going to be different, then it's just like the calmest of calm.
Yeah.
Right before I fight, I'm just like, literally like...
Does that just hit you, or do you make yourself feel that way? Do you know what I mean? Like, or
maybe after repetition, it's because the first time I went like that, the first time I was still like, shit, what the fuck's going on here? What, we're fighting now? So maybe over repetition of it. And then when you win, lad, it's just...
Best feeling ever.
Lad, it's mad. But then there's also the flip side to it, what I don't think many fighters speak about. You've gone through this whole big 12-week camp and you build it up in your mind to be the biggest thing in your life. There's nothing more important to me than winning my next fight.
Yeah.
Obviously,
so for that 12 weeks,
for it, don't you?
yeah, I don't care. For them 12 weeks, I don't care about my family. I don't care if my dog's just died. I'm not thinking about nothing else other than this next guy and killing him. And you build it up like, when I win this fight, I'm going to be... Everything I've wanted in my life is going to be there.
Yeah.
And then you walk out the cage and it's just boom.
Straight back.
Because you've got to do it all over again.
No, it's not what you expected to feel when you come out. You thought it was going to be bigger and better.
Yeah, it's just back to life.
And it's so anticlimactic and you have a big crash. After all of my fights, which fights haven't I? Puconi, I never. But after pretty much all my other fights, I throw up everywhere.
Yeah.
From the adrenaline dump. And it's not like I've took damage, I've got a hit to the head, or because I'm taking no
that
damage.
That chemical switch in your brain as well.
What does it feel like after that? Do you know what I mean? Like, fucking after that fight.
You just sit there.
Is it almost like depression? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, like, you are just, like, thinking, like, fucking, I've just done all that.
Don't get me
wrong, you've won.
Yeah.
But then it's like, it is like, you do go back to the normal.
Back to the drawing board then, innit?
I go back to the fighter hotel straight after the fight and I'm just like...
What now then?
Shit,
you know what I mean?
Take your head down.
Just sitting there like, wow, this is shit, this.
What's your walkout song?
Do you know what?
Do you have a one, or is it just,
So,
I've been dying to ask that, but you were fucking speaking, so I didn't want to dive in. Like, hey, what's your walkout song there?
I used to walk out to Stephen Marley, Rockstone. It's more like reggae, chilled. I like to be going in there a bit more relaxed. And then I went over to Dublin and was training with Craig Coakley. He's in one championship. He's fighting soon. He fights Muay Thai in the 4 ounces.
Nice.
He walks out to 50 Cent, Many Men.
I love 50 Cent's a standard one, isn't it?
Yeah. When I went over to fight Jan Malik in Prague for the first time, when I've gone over there, it was like they were speaking about me like, oh, back against the wall. If he loses this, what will happen now? Yeah. And when I watch him walk out in his walkout song, I thought, yeah, I'm robbing that. And Collie was in my corner, who's Craig's coach. And right before we walked out, I said, you'll like this walkout song, Collie. And then I walked out to Many Men, and Many Men, like the crowd just went mad, and it was a bit more hype and upbeat. And I just went into that mode of like, I'm going to fucking kill this fella. And I feel like personally, that was my best performance in terms of like, all round. You got to see the striking, you got to see the wrestling. I picked him up and slammed him, then I choked him. And I felt like the mindset going into it, and then I just ended up carrying that song on. Then I done Cattacoli in Birmingham was Many Men. I done Puconi was Many Men. And do you know how hard it was to fight a police officer and not walk out to fuck the police, lad?
That must have been right there.
Yeah, lad, there was lad, I had all types of people messaging me and saying, do this and edit this, and people sending me tunes. And I just thought, no, do you know what? Because when I'm in that mindset now, walking out to that song...
Do you feel like that song has some sort of like a good luck charm?
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's when now you're on it.
Yeah.
That is a tune.
So now I don't know if I can get rid of that song.
Yeah.
But it's not really...
I'm in my fucking living room, lad, fucking boxing gloves on and that.
Do you get me? Yeah, do you get me? Lad,
what, Many Men?
Do you know when I'm just chilling and now I hear that song somewhere, I just like, boom.
Switch.
You just see me posture just go like... people. And I'm just ready again.
It's like a kangaroo, lad, just looking.
It's just attached to something in my head now, lad,
It's memory, I mean, I'm sure he won't mind you keeping using it, lads, you know what I mean?
Do you know what? It was like, it's his song, it's Craig's song.
Yeah.
But it's like starting to become synonymous with me. Every article that gets posted and put up on people's
all
stories.
the edits that are getting made as well.
And I know he's thinking, you cheeky bastard, that's my song. But he's in a different sport, so I think he'll be alright letting me borrow it.
Instead of you're going to be on the same card, lad, you'll be flying. You'll be flying.
And if we was on the same card, I'd let him take it and I'd switch mine.
Yeah.
It's his song
if
that I
you were
got.
going to do that, what would your next song choice be? Is it another 50 Cent beast? You can't go wrong with him, you know.
See,
he just brings it.
I've got something lined up for Frankfurt, even though I'm not on the card, for a live something.
Okay.
So I'd go with that.
Okay.
But I don't want to say who it is.
Okay.
In Frankfurt. Switch the camera and I'll tell you.
Sam, well, we'll leave it there then. We'll leave it there. Shem, thanks for joining us again, lad. We appreciate it as always. Thanks to everybody at home watching as well. Before we go, if you've got anything coming up you want to plug or anything, or even it's your socials, let
Get
them
on
know.
me, YouTube, Shem Rock MMA, Instagram, Shem Rock BJJ, TikTok, Shem Rock BJJ, all of that.
Love it. Shem, thank you. Everyone at home, thank you again. We love you. We'll see you next week. Ta-ra.